Hello everyone and welcome back to more Sleepy Times in the Letter. We are back for more because in the last episode, uh, we had averted a crisis in which we had, like, started off in the beginning of that episode with the kitchen and the crying, the noise of the crying, and Hana was trying to, go about it in a most civilized way as possibly can with logics and shit. So in the end, we basically just we thought it was some sort of maid who was crying in the wine cellar, obviously. But of course, we didn't make no attempts to try to open the cellar. So we tried to coax her out, hoping that she would, something would happen. But Hana was getting a little bit impatient. But before anything can really happen, Johanna steps in and was like, "What are you doing? It's really late, and you're almost waking up the house with, with your yelling." And she's like, "Oh yeah, I got a little impatient because this woman who's crying and she's not, doing anything about it, and she, she's not coming out." And of course, Johanna's like, "What crying lady?" And he's just like, "Are you okay? Like, are you sick? Like, you must be so tired. You should go to bed." So there's that. That was crisis averted, and also the fact is that even if we did choose to try to open the wine cellar, we couldn't because it's under lock anyways, and the only person who has the key to that is Luke and Johannes. So yes, that's it. So yeah, crisis averted. Nothing happened. No scary shit. And so we proceeded on to the day. We were talking with Marianne about the housewarming party and just finalizing a couple of plans. And Hana kind of low key slipped into the conversation about how Luke wasn't there that day, and it kind of got her down because Luke always does this. He always disappears. Even if this is his party, he's nowhere to be found, nowhere to be involved with it, and it's always Hana who has to like kind of clean up his mess kind of thing, or make sure that everything goes right. So she hints at Marianne saying, "Oh, okay, so person A and person B kind of scenario," when really it's about her relationship with Luke. And obviously Marianne picked up on that and was like, "Okay, so, our honest opinion is that maybe you two should take a break," kind of thing, where it's like maybe you should take the time to actually try to satisfy your needs and what you want instead of trying so hard to please him all the time. So that was Marianne's advice. So the party goes on full swing afterwards. And surprisingly enough, Rebecca and Ash shows up. Zachary is obviously there for like the media, the press, and stuff like that. But like, yeah, we found Ash and Rebecca there, and turns out that we had relations with Rebecca in terms of like her parents were tutors or professors that taught Hannah at some point, and they were kind of like mildly childhood friends. Like they met as children, and they kind of hung out a bit, but then they kind of lost touch, and they only really got back with connecting with each other at this party because what's it called? Rebecca stood out so much amongst the crowd of rich people and their flamboyant dressings, and she's just really plain but with her pink hair. So yeah, that made Hannah have start conversations with Rebecca, and that's how we found out how she made it into this little party, this housewarming. We had an incident where Hannah saw the ghost lady again over Rebecca's shoulders, but of course she blinks and she's gone, and then she shakes that feeling off again, doesn't think much about it anymore. And then of course, talks more gossips about Rebecca. We actually had a confirmation from Rebecca herself that she does have feelings for Ash, but obviously Ash is too dense and he doesn't notice, or he's that gone to the point where he's not interested at all and is actually really interested in Isabella instead. So it says that. That's what I'm speculating. But so far, it's more so Rebecca thinks he's super dense about it. So in terms of that, Rebecca gives unknowingly advice on relationship as well, where she's like, "Well, we gotta work towards our happy ending. We can't just sit there and just let it fix itself." So yeah, Hannah took that to heart as well, and then she even took that to heart even more when Rochelle, the wife of that chief inspector person, comes bursting in after Luke made his like late appearance kind of thing, and he's all extra and shit like that. But anyways, soon after Luke shows up at the party, Rochelle goes and makes a scene in her drunken state. Even though she's supposedly pregnant, she's drunk on wine, but she starts yelling accusations at Luke, saying that she's pregnant with his baby, and that and that she was gonna elope with him, or he promised to elope with her, or some shit like that. Anyways, whatever. It's the whole Kim Kardashian keeping up with the Kardashian drama, rich people shit, and crazy shit going down. We don't know the truth of it all, like the actual truth of it, but we decided to stick with with Luke, who is saying how it's not his baby and that she's just crazy talk kind of thing. So she gets detained. Rochelle gets detained by us, off on a severe warning, where she's like, I don't ever want to see your face ever again. You are no longer welcome to our estate, our house, our businesses, anything like that. And we won't mess with you. We don't fuck with you either. So yeah, that was that. That was Hana taking charge. But then, before she goes off to rest for the night, she turns to Luke and was like, even though all that is just crazy talk, but it still doesn't change the fact that maybe some of that lie there's a little bit of truth in it. So which means that Luke did at some point cheat on her with Rochelle, but not to that extent, kind of drastic extent where he gets her pregnant. So yeah, so Hana obviously was like, we're gonna talk about this tomorrow kind of thing, but we will talk about it. And that kind of Luke kind of has that kind of made Luke go on edge a bit. But either way, we kind of retired for the night after that incident. And this is the very next day. This is the very next day after the party. And so now let's see where this is gonna go. Let's see what's gonna happen. So because come morning, the dining hall is a mess with a few of his drunk friends sleeping about. Oh my gosh! Just make yourself at home. Just sleep on the. It's a lot of room in the grand ballroom anyway. It's just, toss them a pillow and a blanket and then, they're good to go. We can all have a sleepover in the grand ballroom. Anyway, so we have a new journal entry as well. I'm pretty sure it must be something about that whole incident. Yep. So right here, in the aftermath of Rochelle's accusation, Hannah banned her former friend from setting foot in any of their properties. She was then sent dragging her husband all the way to the mansion's foyer in order to set things straight with him. Yes. She was then seen dragging her husband all the way to the mansion's foyer in order to set things straight with him. So she's talking about us. Okay. So yeah, that's it. That was our incident. That was what we last left off. So. At least a dozen men and women were scattered about, sleeping like they are in alcohol-induced comas. Okay. Even Officer Lee is there, sleeping off the effects and still clutching a bottle of 1998 Jumila? Is that a J? Or was that an L? I don't even know. No doubt Luke has served some of his stores in absence. Yes. Judging by the faint burnt smell, they had set fire to the latter too. New Bohemian. Okay. There's only so much I can tolerate as we have Johannes retrieve every single one and get them a cab. Wow. And they are everywhere. At the table, on it, and underneath it, and some are even in the kitchen. Yes, this is what happens when you throw a really big party in a really big house with a lot of alcohol.
Nap time is over, Kinder. Time to go.
Yes, got to get them home. You are all responsible adults, are you not? You got places to be, work and shit. Oh wait, it's a Saturday. Yeah, it's a Saturday. So oh dear, does this piss our valet, though he is still a man of silent fury. Although it is a little treat to hear him utter curses in German from the other room. Yes, he is German, indeed. I imagine Luke will be amused as well if it isn't his guests that are being thrown out. Alright. Oh, there's the man of the hour now. Instead, he's brooding in his seat, rolling a stalk of daffodil in between his fingers. He really loves daffodils. From all that's said and done, he really likes daffodils. I wonder if there's a story behind it. He's energetic, and you aren't drunk, which is a surprise. That, or you are getting better with handling your hangovers without your dog hairs. Should I be looking out the window to see if the sky has turned red and if pigs have started to fly?
I am unfortunately completely sober, Hana.
Yeah, I know. This is one of those times where it's you don't want to deal with this sober. God, just drunk people in general is just so, they're such a hassle. And how does it feel not being hungover?
Still miserable.
Yes. It'll get better.
Or so they say.
Or so they... trust me.
You wanted to talk about something?
Yes, about what happened last night. It's pretty fucking wild, huh? For once I wish you were hungover. Maybe this isn't the best time for this talk, right? There's still a lot of going on. A lot of drunk people to be taken care of.
No, please. I do not like loose ends.
Okay, that's great, but still.
And this is a bloody ugly loose end.
It is. I'm not gonna argue with that one. Then first things first, I want you to be honest with me, just between the two of us, right? Without others to impress, without people listening in, because half of them are drunk anyways. Just you and me. Did you or did you not sleep with Rochelle Lee and got her pregnant?
I didn't get her pregnant.
But you did sleep with her, though.
But the thought of having a child with her? Can you just imagine it?
Okay, yeah, that's true. I mean, like, his adamancy on not having children with even us, then it's like, come on, what makes us think that he would go off having children with some other lady? So it's okay. Alright, I'll give some credit to you there.
Or rather, don't.
Okay, God, but like, still, I don't think it changes the fact that you did sleep with her, though.
I can already see it. It'll look like that ruddy pig boy from that Young Wizard book.
Ready, pig. Oh, you're talking about, what's it called? Dudley? Are you talking about Dudley? I don't care about Once Upon a Time. So what I'm asking is if you were with her the other night during my party. Yeah. Were you? Him not showing up in most of the gatherings I've hosted in the past is nothing new, of course. The one I've had last week is no different, right? So it's merely another thing I've gotten used to between us after things turned sour. But after Russia... Sorry, something in my throat. But after Rochelle's outburst last night, I won't deny feeling the disappointment, right? So it's like, oh, like she thought it was just him being Luke for like missing all her parties, but now that there might be something else, like a reason for it. So it's like, oh my god. The betrayal, yes. What's done is done, however, though at the very least, I still want to hear the truth from him, right? Just be upfront with me.
She made me meet with her the night of your party.
Okay, and what did you guys meet about?
But I swear, I only agreed to go so that I could tell her I wasn't having none of it.
Oh, none of what?
It isn't my baby.
What?
I don't even think it's Lee's. Poor bloke.
Okay, but it's not about her, it's about you right now, Luke.
I mean, I probably slept with her once.
What do you mean probably slept with her? You don't just probably sleep with someone, you either do or you don't. God.
We were probably incredibly drunk, but that would have been a long time ago before she was preggo.
Oh my god. Are you sure, Luke? You're not making anything up or leaving anything out?
Of course not.
Are you sure? This is your last chance. Last chance while I'm still feeling very generous.
I swear it on my mother's grave.
On your mother's grave. Okay. I'm gonna hold you to that. He swears it, he says, as he hands me the flower with such tenderness. And I believe him. Okay.
Well, if that's all you wanted to talk about, you shouldn't have made me worry.
Okay. Either he's a really good actor, or he really did have nothing to hide from that confession. For the sake of my sanity and for the sake of our marriage, I'll pretend that you never said any of that. Are you sure you aren't drunk now?
Haven't had a single drop and hating it.
Well, yeah, he seems really sober to me, so... Would you like something to drink? Because I'm not done. I have something else to tell you. Oh, what's this?
No thanks. Maybe I will after this little talk you wanted to have.
Okay.
I already told you, and you already said you believe me that the brat isn't my child.
Okay, but like, apparently we have something else to discuss aside from that.
I already spilled that I might have had drunken sex with her once, and you wish to wipe that off your memory.
Okay, I'm glad we're over this.
So do we have anything else to talk about? Because have at it.
Good, at least you're voluntarily wanting to sit down and talk to me about whatever it is that you want to talk about.
I'm all ears.
Good. You're pretty miffed for someone who just admitted to his wife that he's cheated, right?
And you're stalling. I can tell that incident has you shaken up.
Yes, of course it does. It did.
So why don't you just spit it out and get this all over with?
Oh, I'm pregnant. Oh, I knew it! Wow, okay, so this is the other thing that she wants to talk to him about. Oh, damn.
What?
Yeah, I'm pregnant. With your child.
Come again?
Yes. You heard me. Yes, I knew it was morning. I had a feeling it was morning sickness that one time she was like throwing up over the toilet.
You've got to be kidding, right?
Well, come on, let's recount all the times we've had unprotected sex.
This must be some kind of joke. Are you taking the piss at me?
No, I'm not.
Because, woman, I don't need a second fake pregnancy.
Oh my goodness. Instead of answering, however, I stay silent and let the matter of the fact sink into his head. Yo, he goes really pale. His face heats up for a moment before he goes pale, yes. He raises a hand in the hopes of asking for a drink, but the morning staff are still busy evicting the last of his inebriated companions. There we go. I don't even know why I struggled with that, but I struggle with a lot of words that I shouldn't be struggling with. So he doesn't even bother to bark out orders as if he's lost his very voice. Actually, he looks like he's on the verge of hyperventilating.
This is Hana dying.
He's like, oh my god. Jesus. So I think for sure he would. Okay, yeah. So there we go. That sets the story straight. Is where he might have slept with Rochelle, but not to the point where she got pregnant from him. Because look at him freak out about this now.
I need some air.
Oh my god.
How long have you been?
I don't know. 3 months. Oh wow. And they're twins, although we don't know yet if they're a boy or a girl. If they're a boy or a girl or both. Yeah.
Good God. Twins.
I love how he's so not ready for one child, but now he's getting two all at the same time. Oh my god.
I'm going to be a father.
Yes, you are.
To two tiny babies.
Tiny babies. Yes, of course, tiny babies. I mean, what else size would they come in?
Breathe, Luke. Breathe.
Yeah, you need to breathe. You need to breathe before you end up passing out. Goodness, Luke, I'm the one who's pregnant here, not you. No,
don't touch me! Stay away!
Whoa. Whoa. A scream cuts off my amusement, and without thinking, Luke and I rush to the foyer. Uh-oh. What's happening out here? There stands a crazed-looking chief inspector, thrashing about as he tries to make it up the stairs while Johannes holds him back. Why is he going upstairs? Why? What is going on here? Yeah.
Und tschüss. All the Schweinehunde must leave, including you, Chef Inspector.
Okay, I really wish there's some subtitles to this. I wish I spoke German.
This one is very problematic and will not leave.
Yeah, I can see that, Johannes. I'm sorry.
No, you can't make me leave! I need to stay here for her! I need to help her!
Help her? Oh my god, has he had hallucinations of the ghost too? Did she... And he's actually making... Oh my god. Okay, no more theories right now. We need to see where this is going. Who? Rochelle? Yeah, where is Rochelle anyways? She's probably already at home, dearie. Or she might have already gone and skipped town. Who knows?
Oh, for the love of... There's no point talking logic in him.
Oh, true. But anyways, journal time. I feel like he might have heard the ghost, whispering, because from all the times that we encountered the ghost as Isabella, it's always her just whispering, help me. So maybe... Oh, there we go. Okay, so Hana confronted Luke regarding last night's drama. He confessed he slept with Rochelle, but insisted that he's not the father for a child. Accepting his apology, Hana then informed him that she's 3 months pregnant. Their talk was interrupted when a crazed Officer Lee refused to leave the mansion, screaming about helping a crying woman. There we go. Okay, there we go. A crying woman. Not just whispering, but yeah, we've had that incident before.
Lee, go home. You're drunk.
I know. Go home. You're drunk.
Can't you hear her crying?
No. Well, I heard her crying, but I shook it off because I'm like that.
She was crying, just weeping and in so much pain last night.
Oh, last night. Damn. Well, yeah, that happened to us too.
I couldn't help her. Drunk, sobbing bastard that I am.
Aw, at least, he's a bit of a creep towards us and hitting on us and trying to make some move, but at least he has a good sense of morale as a police officer, that he's still ready to jump in and help at the very at anybody's cry for help,
But my help, she needs my help.
Your help specifically?
Tell your fucking stupid lapdog to let go of me, Luke!
What is going on?
Or I'm gonna knock him down and I'm gonna knock the two of you down too!
Oh god. Language. I've already dealt with your wife, so don't make me deal with you, Lee. Hana, please, you're pregnant. I know you're trying to be the big woman here, but now you got other, priorities, I don't want him to get violent on you and have you miscarriage or some shit like that. Or I swear I'll...
Hana, enough. Don't stress yourself over him. It'll be bad for the twins.
Yes. Aw, look at him be caring.
So go back to your breakfast and let me handle this. Okay?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know you don't want to be the damsel in distress, but still, Hana, like, there's other priorities. Like, I'm sorry. Are you sure? Yeah.
Why wouldn't I be?
Okay, Luke, honey, I trust you on this one.
Now, go ahead and do something less stressful.
Yes, I will do that. Okay, bye-bye. Go ahead. Alright, and do nothing. There isn't much to do, it seems, whenever I step up to the plate and try to take responsibility for something. Well, Hana, I don't know if you really want to deal with a very, like, still half-drunk, rowdy man who is, like, about borderline violence. So, like, I know it's, like, still, it's, like, again, you don't want to be the damsel in distress, but I think you gotta pick and choose your battles, Perhaps because everything is already being handled by someone hired specifically for that job? Yeah. And with Johannes overseeing the staff and Luke handling everything else as a whole, that doesn't leave much for me. I can't even take the job of delegation because all it takes is a word to one of the senior staff and everything will be taken care of for me. Moving in here a few days ago may have very well been the chore that took the most effort from me. And that didn't take any real effort at all. Yes, Hana, go buy a mansion in the middle of nowhere. Good idea, great plan. I know, girl. I mean, I don't know about you, girl. But like, I don't know how you thought that was logical. I mean, if it was me, again, if I had the money, I wouldn't even consider it at all. I'd be like, nope, not me. There are no dishes to set aside and busy myself with, and any mess left behind is now nearly non-existent. To sit on a counter while eating cake is supposed to be my next plan. Alas, there isn't even one to finish off, and I don't really know what brought me to the kitchens in the first place, because that's where you heard the crying. It's not like I'm craving anything else, nor do I have any unfinished business left here. But you kinda do, because, the whole crying in the cellar thing, but like, we couldn't even get to it because it was locked either way, but still, that was a crisis that we averted, but still, nevertheless a crisis that we haven't exactly dealt with wholly, but there's a calling to this room. Yo, speaking of calling, why not do just that? Oh, might as well, since I have nothing else to do. Are we just gonna call up Becca? Gonna have a little girls chat? At least that will require some effort on my part. With how cut off from the rest of Luxborn the mansion is, and with how long it was abandoned before we moved in, having a landline is out of the question. Oh my god, girl, you don't even have a telephone installed? Girl, you fucked! Why would you do this to yourself? The solution is supposed to be our mobiles, though it isn't much considering how spotty the signal is in the area. Exactly! Oh my god, you really fucked! It'll take a bit of maneuvering to get even a single bar as it is. Nope, never. That does it. That closes my end of the deal. Just be like, nope. If I can't get decent signal here, and I don't even have a landline, like, girl, you're good as fucked. It takes a bit, as I said it would. I have to park my rear on one of the cold drawers, but that suits me just fine. Another matter that needs my effort is who to call. She who must not be named is certainly off the list. Yeah, Rochelle. That doesn't leave much in the category of close friends who attended the party, along with the category of who else is awake at this early hour. But soon enough, I managed, and the call goes through.
Hello,
Yes,
Rebecca Gales
I
here.
knew it was gonna be Becky.
Who's this?
I'm Hana. Good morning, Becky.
Hannah?
Yes, hi.
Oh wait, how did you get my number?
I have my ways. You responded to your RSVP through the phone. It's all saved in here, of course. I thought I'd like to say hi and make plans and get together sometimes. Also, I'd love to hear news about your mother and father and about you, my dear. I hope I didn't wake you up.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
It's sports day at school today, so I was just prepping for
Oh,
that.
that's great. Yeah, figures that you'd be a teacher as well. I'm sure your students must absolutely adore you.
Don't know about that.
Oh, come on. Mathematics?
History, actually.
Oh, no.
Anyway, it's real nice to know you've got my number. I was going to ask for yours because Mom wanted to keep in touch.
Oh, that's nice. You could have asked, silly girl. I would have gladly given it to you.
Couldn't, though, because, well, the thing that happened.
Oh, yes, the thing.
But really, I'm sorry, though. I gotta run. School, schedule, stuff.
Yeah, you gotta live your life, too. Okay, I understand.
Is there anything else you want to say? don't want to use the mobile while driving.
Oh no, then get Bluetooth. Get a wireless, headset. Oh, of course. I shouldn't keep you. But I wanted to thank you for your company yesterday.
Not a problem.
Great. And for the other thing as well.
What for now?
For what you said to me with what had happened. Yes. It's been very helpful and oh. Hi! The call starts to go static, much to my frustration. A strange clicking noise drowns out most of her words too. I doubt she can understand what I'm saying. Oh gosh. I wonder if Becca heard that too. Oh gosh. And the line completely dies. I can feel a headache coming along. It's just building up, starting from a light throbbing on one side of my head. The static is gone and that helps a lot. But there is still that incessant, horrible clicking. Again and again and again. Hello? Dearie? Are you fine? Which doesn't make sense, the mobile's turned off, isn't it? Right. And if it isn't coming from the phone, then where? The cellar. Oh, I knew it! Looking about, I can't help but let my eyes be drawn to the hatch leading into the wine cellar once more. And now the crying. That's when the clicking stops and I can hear that crying, that familiar crying from before. What happened the other day when I was told that nobody should have been down there? Yes, but let's read this journal first. Okay, so Hannah called Rebecca Gales hoping to catch up with an old friend. The talk got interrupted by a horrible clicking and the cry of a woman from the wine cellar. But this time it must be unlocked because, the party and shit. I tried to forget it because of how it unsettled me. One can hardly do that when I'm looking at the very thing I'm trying to forget. Somebody is crying down there again. But if I leave it alone, it simply won't stop bothering me for the rest of the day. Oh no, they might have forgotten to lock it with the party going on. Which means I can open it, which means I don't want to go down there. This again. If somebody's pulling my leg, I will not be happy. Fuck my life! True enough, all it takes is a bit of a pull to open the hatch. As I look down into the cellar, a sense of uneasiness washes over me. Then you need to book it, girl. It isn't just a sudden onset of vertigo and nausea, but also the darkness. It's suffocating. And as I look down, it feels as if it's looking back at me. I worry that something will suddenly pull me into the deep. Then the cries down beneath the shrieks that start echoing in my head, high and shrill, like nails being dragged across a chalkboard. Oh. Okay, they're all screaming, shouting at me. And I can just feel her rage. She's mad. Okay, that means we gotta get the fuck out. Shit, help me. She wants to drown me, drag me down and crush me in the very depths of darkness until there's nothing left of me. No, girl, no thank you. Bye, take care. The deep abyss waits for me. For my death. They're all calling for it. This is a nightmare. Oh, fuck. There's a rope around my neck and I can feel the rest of me being torn apart. And they're still screaming. Oh, fuck me. I'm screaming. Though it is not my voice that escapes my lips. It claws through, climbing up and forcing its way up my throat like putrid bile. I choke and gag, yet I scream and shriek all at the same time. And I'm me, but not me. Whoa. Whoa! 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 No, girl! No, girl! No, girl! Oh shit, girl! Did I do it? Oh my god, girl! Oh my god! I said I was gonna be prepared for a QTE, but shit! Oh my god, now my heart's racing. Okay. I survived it, thankfully. Wow, miraculously. Okay. It pushes me down to my knees before I'm prone and vulnerable on my stomach. It makes me tumble and I can just feel my whole body seizing, writhing on the floor. Everything and nothing hurts. It feels like I'm on the verge of death. And if I'm not dying, I nearly wish I actually am.
Hana?
Oh my god.
Hana, what is going on in here?
I'm getting possessed? I don't even know, girl.
Why are you?
Oh my god. Prince. Oh. Seeing Luke, something snaps back, and I am able to take a gasp of air on my own volition for the first time in what felt like centuries. I would have rejoiced and cried for his name if the pain still did not rack my body. So we were kind of possessed. Sort of possessed. Half possessed. Oh my god. Some shady history has gone down in this mansion, obviously. Oh my god. I seriously wonder what the story is about. Obviously there's some murders. Obviously there's some... maybe unrequited love. Maybe. I don't even know. But anyways, back to this. So instead, all I can do is stare listlessly as he comes to my side and lifts me up, cradling me in his arms. He tries to get me to my feet, perhaps to take me out of here. But all he's able to do is to get me to sit up, make sure I'm not thrashing on the floor? Trashing on the floor? I don't even know. I can still feel my muscles spasm, limbs jerking like a puppet's on a string. Luke holds me tight and keeps me still so that I do not hurt myself anymore. Whatever it is that happened, it has my mind feeling frayed and battered. Eventually the pain dies down into a dull ache and my own tongue stops feeling like cotton. It's only now that I can feel the wetness of my cheeks, tears streaking down my face. A coughing racks my body now that I don't feel like choking. And it just all feels so horrible. But I don't care. Hey, at least there was no jump scare when I opened up the hatch. Jesus, I think I was half expecting that rather than the QTE, and that's why I was kind of caught off guard. Oh man. But I don't care. I don't care. Luke, please.
What happened here?
We need to get the fuck out. Like, buying this mansion thing, it's a horrible mistake, and I feel like we should look for somewhere else to live, you know?
Who did this to you?
A ghost. I don't know. I'm so sorry.
Shh, it's alright. You're safe now, Hana.
Oh. Oh.
You're safe now.
Okay. Well, for now. Oh, Jesus. Oh, wow. Are we gonna switch points of view? Ah, Zachary! Okay, damn, so we're switching points of view. For sure, I'm going to, what's it called? Continue on, because I don't think we've only just really started this episode, so yeah, let's do it. So, the pleasant aroma hits me long before I cross the threshold. Oh, which means we gotta change our voice acting. Okay, so let's just do that first, before anything else happens. So, we're no longer Hana, we are now Zachary. So, let's lower Zachary's voice, and then just do that. Okay. So, oops. My bad. Faint but light and warm, a reminder of what home is. Pa's stern but commanding gaze, Ma's tender smiles, the sunlight filtering through the eaves in the morning. And a distinct smell of cinnamon and vanilla as it drifts through the air every time something cooks from the room. The room, our room, Ma and Pa's pride and joy. My sister and I too, eventually. But we ain't allowed there. Not yet. The kitchen? Not until we're taller or older. Not until we've learned how to take care of ourselves and not burn our hands or reach the cupboards without having to be lifted. Okay, it's the kitchen. So, but a little peek wouldn't hurt, yeah? The floorboards are cold under my feet more than it usually is, the walls more forbidding than what I'm used to. Farther and farther the room goes. Ma's singing ceases and Pa... Oh no, please, wait. Oh, he's having a dream. I'll be good, I'll sleep on time. Don't go. I can't hear Pa. Oh! Hey! Jesus Christ. Alright. Not above the raucous clanging and the deafening roar of gunshots, nor the screams replacing the comforting soft melodies. Oh my gosh. There is only the blinding fear. When my foot slips, the red sea that catches me is bitter and frigid, but the blood that drips in my hand is warm, warm, warm. It ain't my blood. The walls tumble and everything goes quiet. Jesus. Oh God. It takes a few moments for everything to fall into place, for my eyes to adjust to the relative darkness of the room. Despite the pleasant chill the AC brings, my shirt is clinging tightly to me, and my blanket is my blanket a tangled mess around my throat. That's not good. You nearly almost killed yourself with that. Morning has not even arrived, and yet way too early for this thing, man. Way yeah. And too long. Too long since the last I've woken up drenched in my own sweat, head littered with thoughts that are gone as soon as my eyes open. All too often, only imprints and brief images are left to haunt me for the rest of the day or until my mind forgets about it. Egad, whichever comes first. Yet vivid or not, what little I can remember does not matter. Regardless, the desperation sticks, clawing up, pushing, urging me to relive every moment, every sensation, and... Wow, there's a twinkle in Ma's eyes when she looks up from her work, flour dusting her nose and cheeks. The scent of freshly baked bread wafts through the oven as soon as Pa opens it, and the homely fragrance of honey fills the room. He reaches up to wipe the small beads of sweat away from his forehead before gesturing for me to come closer the moment he spots me on my little hiding place behind the door. I expected him to be angry, but he pats on my back when I come within his arm's reach is encouraging enough. We'll have to taste these first before we put it up for sale tomorrow. You up for it, little man? Is it good enough? A knock cuts through the air before I can answer. Sharp, heavy, demanding, familiar. So distantly familiar. Ma ushers me out of the kitchen when Pa moves to answer it. But I know what waits outside. The taste of blood in my mouth sends an unpleasant churning in my gut. Wow, shit. Ma's apron crinkles under my tight grip. Something snaps back into place. My bed remains in an utter disarray, the walls still need a new paint job, and the wall clock ticking opposite my bed is as unsettling as ever. Ash is right. I should have already replaced that when I had the chance. What? You're no longer there, Zachary. Here and there are miles apart. Calm down. Breathe. Wow, shit. The pressure of my own fingers against my temples, a welcome sensation over the anxiety gripping me. I never really did anything to stave off the headache sure to follow after this before, but it grounds me. A little reminder that I am safe, away from the place I once called home, from Ma and Pa's. The urgency with each rap that follows finally chases away the ghosts starting to hang around. Why anyone thinks it's a good idea to knock at someone else's door this late confuses me. Okay, is it like the next day? No. Maybe he just woke up in the middle of the night. Because before when he woke up, it felt like he just woke up too early, like around like 4 a.m. or some shit like that. But I feel like it's just still late. Nana would chase them all away with a broom if she was here. Who's Nana? But no matter, it's a welcome break from the thoughts about to take a morbid turn if left festering. Yeah, you probably should answer that door. It's probably just Ash anyway, looking for a place to crash. Yeah, crash. Looking for a place to crash. Wonder of wonders why he's bothering with the courtesy when he never did so before. Unless it's not him, unless it's a fucking ghost. Ugh. But ghosts don't knock. They're not that polite. Even with that hunch, though, habit compels me to check who it is first through the peephole. Right. It's better to do that. It's a good habit to have, Zachary, even if it was born from something very traumatic. Better safe than sorry, they say. Yes. Except the person that greets me on the other side ain't him. Yeah. Unless his hair grew longer overnight and he started wearing a ponytail, of course, which I highly doubt will happen anytime soon, no matter how funny that looks in my head. Oh, it's probably Isabella! Isabella, homegirl, are you okay? I waste no time opening the latches. Yes! Oh my god, girl! A safe haven, yes. I would figure she would run to somebody. I thought she would run to Rebecca rather than to Zachary. I don't even know. Okay, whatever. She's here now, so she'll probably tell us why she's here. Isabella, it's late. There's something I can't quite pinpoint in her eyes when she looks up. Her face a pallid shade, shoulders tense, breathing heavy, and an uncontrollable shaking in her hands she's trying to hold back. Hide if I did know any better.
Hey, Zach. Sorry,
No.
I know it's weird for me to show up at this hour, but you were the closest to my office, and...
Oh, shit. Okay. This makes sense now. Oh my god, homegirl, I'm so happy you're safe. No. It's perfectly fine. I'm not really working on anything right now. Do you want to come in? Yes, please let her in. This girl has gone through a lot already.
Is it alright? I know you should be sleeping at this hour, but I thought...
No, girl. After what you've been through, girl.
I'm sorry, I just thought...
No. Come in.
I have no idea why I went here. My feet just moved on their own after I got out of the office, and...
Yeah, I know, girl.
Sorry.
It's okay. You want some tea? She trails off, her voice lost in the muggy night air. I wait for her to say more, but instead, her only response is a downward shift of her gaze, back to her still trembling hands as if the motion alone is enough of an explanation, yes. A minuscule gesture. Easy to miss if one is not paying attention. But for someone who has seen the same expression on the mirror, done the same thing too many times when night terrors are inevitable, it is not. Hey, don't worry about it. At least you knocked, right? Ash just barges in and crashes on the couch whenever he feels like it. I swear that guy is one fine hairline away from being a criminal. Without waiting for her answer, I step away from the door and saunter over the kitchenette. For a few good seconds, only the clinking of the plates can be heard above the constant tick-tock. Yeah. Late as it may be for a snack, the familiar motion keeps me occupied, steering my mind away from dangerous thoughts. Isabella's company is not unwelcome either. Whatever her reasons for showing up here at such an hour doesn't matter. I'll be damned if I just turn her away, frazzled as she is. Right. The door clicks shut behind her when she finally enters, feet scuffling softly against the tiled floor. I wonder if Zachary is gonna like mention his incident with what happened with him and Hannah when he was taking her photo. In all the years I've known her, she has never once lost her ever upbeat spirit. Yet in this particular moment, as she stands in my doorway, holding her arms close to herself, it's as if I'm looking at someone completely withdrawn from the person I've come to know all these years. Do you want to drink or eat anything? Want tea? I haven't restocked my food stash yet, so ingredients may be a bit limited, but I'm sure I can whip something up with what I have here.
Just water will do, please.
Okay, water.
Thanks, Zach.
No problem. What? No additional food requests? That's new. I'll put something together for you anyway. Aw, you're so nice. And feel free to make yourself at home. Alright. You ain't exactly a new visitor here, although my room's not at its most presentable right now. Sorry, new freelance gigs and such. Didn't have time to fix things up here lately. Oh, it's all fine.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
Yeah, I don't mind. Usually she'd have something more to say about that. I quip a witty remark to provoke a laughter or two. Nothing from her this time. Yeah, only a weak smile before she takes a seat on the couch, and a silence that stretches out until what we left hanging feels disconcerting. Before everything turns stifling and awkward, I continue talking, if only to keep the dead air at bay. How's one supposed to keep a conversation going when the person you're talking to is like this? I know, right? It's hard, but like, I can understand where she's coming from. I just wonder when she's gonna spill the beans, spill the tea. Anyway, gigs. Can you believe this one client we got? Yeah, the Wrights. Boss had all my scheduled shoots shifted after they caught wind of this couple buying a new property. Man, must be nice to have all the money in the world. The world itself moves for you, huh? She's curled up on one side of the couch and hugging her knees close when I bring the tray carrying the sandwiches and the water she requested. Sorry. She starts to straighten up as I'm unloading the contents, but pauses as soon as I hold up my hand in a halting gesture. You're a guest. Didn't I say you're free to make yourself at home? Here's your water. Careful. Yeah, the tremor in her hands, though lighter now, still hasn't subsided when she reaches out for the glass. I give her a questioning look, but she is quick to avert her eyes, keeping herself occupied by taking small gulps of water. Or maybe she just doesn't want me asking questions. Worrying. This sudden loss for words, this bout of quiet not normally present in our chats. Even the creaking of the old chair when I casually take the seat is a welcome break. Although the company's familiar, this has gone way past unnerving. What happened? Overtime at work? And then some traumatic experience with the supernatural? Yeah. Shit. Oh, poor Isabella. She doesn't answer immediately. Another gulp drains her glass of its remaining contents. One would think it would be enough to help her recover, yet she doesn't lose her taut grip on the glass as she cradles it on her lap. Her eyes take an unfocused gaze when she speaks again.
Yeah.
Oh, girl, you're gonna hide it just because people will be like, "Oh, supernatural ghost." No one's gonna believe me. Oh, but come on, Zach has his like experience too. Although albeit a little bit smaller on your scale, but like still traumatic.
Boss handed me extra work today. After what happened
Right? Have you heard, Zach?
to Rose.
Yes. Rose. Why do I feel like you've mentioned her before? Oh, because she's my. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I guess Rose in their circle isn't as close. Just I think Rebecca would be closer to Rose. Oh my gosh! So you haven't heard that she's murdered. Oh shit. Sorry, I'm better with remembering faces than names. Same. I understand you completely, Zach.
She was my coworker.
Yeah.
That will take some getting used to. I was just talking to her the other day.
Did she resign or something? I think I'm missing a few details here, Bella. She's. You could say that she's, permanently resigned.
You've never met her. I think I did mention her once or twice.
Yeah, but again, since they're not that close, I would understand. So.
It doesn't matter. You probably heard her name recently from the news than me.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Something clicks then. Oh, have you heard on the news then? A little memory from the night before. The bright red light from the dark room, the strong odor of the stop bath, the television's barely audible murmur in the background, and a glimpse of a bloody room. But the bright red light from the dark room, the strong odor of the stop bath. How is he recalling this? What? The news is everywhere, even in the morning that follows. Okay, maybe he's just recalling it in the news that he saw in passing. I just didn't think its effect will strike someone this close to me. Right. Isn't that so fucked up? Oh damn, I didn't mean to bring that up.
No, like I said, it'll take some getting used to.
Oh.
But it'll get better.
Girl,
I hope
like
it will.
Oh girl. Oh my gosh, you don't need to force it.
Things might become a little busier for me, though.
Yeah. Shit.
She left a lot of things unfinished. And I'm one of the few people in the office who knows how she works. Boss thinks the transition will be easier if I handle it.
That explains it. Well, just don't forget you still need rest. Right. Even the most hardworking people I know don't keep hours as late as this. Hell, the subway stopped running hours ago. Crime rate might be lower here than most places, but that doesn't mean you can walk around freely in the middle of the night, right? It's still dangerous.
It's just for today.
Yeah. After what happened? Yeah, man. I don't even want to be by myself afterwards. Still a good thing you dropped by here first. I'm not just about to let you walk out there alone, especially not in the middle of the night. Who knows what else could happen? I'm not saying you should go right now, but I can accompany you home if you... Nope.
No! Wait, please!
No, I don't wanna. I can understand why. The vehement attention in her voice makes me pause, and it is in this instant the mask she's been keeping up falls apart, if only for a short while. Right then and there, I understood what's hiding behind her unfocused stare from the moment she arrived. Fear, yes. Pure, unadulterated fear. It's disturbing to see such marring her usual upbeat countenance. Yeah. With a sigh, I cross the small distance separating us and kneel in front of her. Well, but she doesn't flinch when I do so. However, the way she appears to make herself smaller against the couch is telling enough. Bella, this ain't just about your coworker, is it? Yeah. What is this really about? I'm all ears, right? The sound of glass shattering rents through the air as soon as her hold on it loosens. In the span of a few seconds, her breathing grows labored.
I don't know anymore.
Right, 'cause ghosts. She clasps her hands over her ears, pressing it tightly against the sides of her head. Her voice grows weaker with each word, each plea coming out of her mouth.
Please don't leave me alone. I don't want to be alone right now.
Right.
I can't shake it off. Everywhere's not safe and...
Yep. Aye. Isabella, look at me. My hands are firm on her shoulder when I pull her up to look at me. It takes every force of will to ignore the terror in her eyes in favor of taking control of the situation. Too close, too similar, right. Breathe, breathe. You're safe here. Inhale, hold, exhale, stay in the present. But the present is so frightening. I'm here. No one's gonna hurt you. Do you want to talk about it? The force with which she shakes her head is enough reason to drop the topic altogether.
No more. Please. No more. I don't want to remember anymore.
Oh, girl, but... Okay, no more talking. I won't ask anymore. Can I get you anything? Another glass of water? I think I have a tub of that pistachio ice cream you love so much. We're gonna have to clean this mess first. Will you be fine on your own for a little while? I mean, I'm just in the kitchen, you know? She nods slightly before retreating into herself again. No more words were exchanged after that, and I take that as my cue to start cleaning the shards littering the floor before either of us get hurt. The quiet hum of the AC is a pleasant distraction as I go over the menial task. More so than her ragged draws of breath or my little, feeble attempts to tell a quick story or two. But the latter does the trick. And soon enough she has already drifted off by the time I return with the promised glass of water, her chest rising and falling in a steady rhythm, the strain on her shoulders gone. Frankly, I've never seen her this still. She mumbles something I don't quite catch when I carry her to the empty bed and hugs herself tighter against the mess of blankets. In spite of the fact that she appears relaxed, the small frown on her face hasn't quite disappeared. Whatever happened to her won't be leaving her anytime soon. But for her sake, I hope it won't stay long with her. Oh, girl. If only you knew. There are still questions left to be answered. But the late hour, coupled with the sudden exhaustion, made my old couch a more comfortable bed than it typically is. Okay. Right. Yeesh. Darkness immediately welcomes me as soon as my head hits my makeshift pillow. Okay, let's read this journal. It's probably about Isabella, and her showing up there. A frightened Isabella Santos knocked at Zachary Steele's apartment in the middle of the night. Shaken, she refused to say what happened. Zachary let her stay regardless. Right. Alright. So I can only wish the dreams will keep a distance for now. For both of us. Okay. Tuesday, October 25th. It's morning. That's great. No incidents. Okay. So the first few notes, while muffled, are enough to wake me. In the end, it became one of those nights when sleep passes like a blink and is plagued with vague, fuzzy thoughts. I lift a hand to rub away the drowsiness from my eyes, although it does little to relieve the gritty, burning sensation from my eyelids. Outside, the sun has yet to peek over the horizon, but night has already given way to the cool morning light, washing everything in subtle gray hues. At this hour, the entire city remains unstirring. Ordinarily, waking up before my own alarm means abusing the snooze button twice or thrice just to catch those precious few extra minutes of sleep. Right, same. But the persistent ringing makes it impossible now. Ugh, this better be good. Groggily, I scrambled for the bag sitting at the foot of the bed. Oh, it's Ash. The ringing still hasn't stopped even as I fish the phone out, and Ashton's name flashes brightly on the screen when I turn it on. Must be pretty urgent if he hasn't dropped the call yet.
Took you long enough, Z-Man.
Oh my god. Ash, please. It's still early. Ashton, it's 6 in the morning. The sun hasn't even risen. Hell, my brain ain't even awake yet. And stop calling me Z-Man.
It's 20 past 6, Zach.
It's still 6 in the morning. Okay, Ash. So, lay off. You're one to talk. Give me back my 5 extra minutes, Ash. I want my sleep, right?
Hey, don't make fun of me. I can be a more person too if I want to.
Doesn't sound like it, but okay. Oh, what's this all really about? You don't usually make calls around this hour. Is the world ending today?
Sorry about that.
Yeah, what's up?
Becca rang me up a few minutes ago looking for Isabella. Said she didn't show up in her own apartment last night. We both tried calling, but her phone seems to be off.
Right.
Do you have any idea where...
She's actually right here. I should have known you two will come looking for her first thing in the morning.
Not a laughing matter, Zach. You can't really let your guard down with everything that's happened here recently.
Right. Have you heard about Rose?
You've heard about the Cooper one from the news. Everyone in the precinct has been restless ever since the incident the other day.
Yes, of course you would. You're a detective, for crying out loud. Oh, is that the case he's been working on then? Maybe he's working on that Ansem Butcher case. Wow, damn. Yeah, I get what you mean. Listen, Ash, about Bella. I let my voice trail off, unsure of how to go about recounting last night. If I should even say anything to him. He might be a close friend, but at the end of the day, whatever's bothering her ain't mine to speak of in the first place, right? On the bed, Isabella remains as still as when I transferred her the night before. Sometime during her sleep, she pulls up a blanket over herself and tucked into it comfortably. Like this, it's easy to forget the horror in her eyes or how much her hands and lips trembled. Save for her firm grip on the edge of the cover, she appears nearly as normal as she would any other day. Almost. I'm not really sure how to go about this while being...
Zach, what about her?
Oh gosh. Something, the worry, the concern, must have surfaced in my tone because his own shifts then. Carefully, as if he's preparing for the worst. Look, you don't have to worry about her. She's with me right now. Since last night, in fact.
Oh, why didn't you just say so earlier?
Well, shit, man. I didn't know how to go about saying it without making it sound weird. She kinda knocked in the middle of the night. I couldn't possibly wake you two over that. And with how things are when she arrived, I thought it'd be best if I let her rest first. I just wasn't expecting people would be looking for her before the rooster even crows.
You could have at least called her something. Becca's beside herself with worry when she found out.
Oh, right, okay. Maybe I should have texted then. God, sorry.
You know how much she frets about the smallest stuff.
Right, okay. I know, I'm sorry. That was a laugh on my part. I just didn't think... Okay, you know what? Rebecca's worries ain't completely baseless. Isabella hasn't been her usual self since the movie, maybe even before that. I don't know if I should be opening my mouth about this, but Bella didn't outright say I shouldn't, so...
So something's wrong then?
Yes! I'm not quite sure, to be completely honest. I couldn't get the story out of her.
Really? I thought you'd learned something from me by now.
Girl, it's because I have more, respect and, boundaries, you know? I ain't pushy, okay? That's not it. Ash, when she appeared at my doorsteps last night, she was shaking, and when I tried to ask her about it, she just panicked, had this frightened look on her face. I'd be surprised if this was the first time I've seen it, but it ain't. Dude, the first time, she was screaming.
First time?
Yeah.
When was this?
Oh, right, yeah.
You weren't talking about the thing in the movie house, are you? Because that was just us fooling around. Granted, I think I went overboard with the joke, but...
Right, because Ash wasn't there with the whole lunch incident where she saw the lady in the windows, right? No, it happened the day after, when she invited us to lunch. You weren't there. We were walking one second, and then the next, she's crying out. I'll be straight with you, that scared me shitless. It bothered him if the way he falls silent after his telling. But whatever his opinion is stays absent from his voice when he speaks again. He's always been good with that, hiding what he thinks.
Did she say anything else?
Nope. Nothing. Won't tell me anything aside from the few vague words. I didn't want to push it.
Where is she? Is she still sleeping?
Yes, she is. Right here with me, still sleeping. Should I wake her up or something? Let her know you guys are looking for her?
No need.
Yeah.
Let her rest. I'll drop by in a few.
I figure, yeah. Just let her rest. Just let her, wake up by herself. Today? Don't you have work at this time? I mean, I can drop her off home myself before meeting my client later.
Look who's talking.
My schedule's flexible, Ash. Last time I checked, you're the one who didn't have that luxury. How on earth do you think I'm able to tag along when you need me?
It's not completely out of the way.
Still. They live on the other side of the town from you, Ash. Your definition is... They live on the other side of the town from you, Ash. Your definition of out of the way is a little screwed up, you know.
It's fine. I have some things I need to do
Are
anyway.
you sure? Aw, but he's being so, sweet about it.
I'll call you back. I've got to let Becca know that Scared Cat's fine. Bye.
Okay, bye. Alright, he drops the call before I can even get a word in, and for several minutes after, I find myself simply listening as the rest of Luxborn rouses. The increasing sound of passing traffic, the bustle of the nearby shops preparing for the day, and the growing clamor of the people while they go about their morning. Oh, so maybe in this timeline, this is before. Oh, this is definitely before he met up with the Wright's mansion to do the whole interview with Hannah. Okay, well, man, he's in for a surprise. Shit. Okay. So let's read this before we get moving. So, come morning, Zachary received a phone call from Ashton, who was looking for Isabella. So Zachary informed that she stayed over and of the circumstances. Before ending the call, Ashton offered to pick her up. Okay. So there you go. So not the most soothing sounds to hear following a troubled night, but the routine puts me at ease nevertheless. What's comforting, what's safe, what I'm used to. Nearby, Isabella shifts but doesn't wake, blissfully unaware as the city slowly stirs itself back to life. Was her night as restless as the one I had? Were her dreams as lucid? In hushed moments like this, I envy her. Unreasonable, probably a little unfair to say such in light of last night. If only forgetting is as easy as breathing. A small yawn escapes me when I rise from the couch to stretch. Luckily, the short conversation with Ash has effectively driven away any will to go back to bed. I still have a day to get through despite the proverbial ghost hanging around. Haha, proverbial ghost. Wait till it gets literal. Alright, so the orange bottle sitting at the edge of my table is reassuring against my palm the instant I pick it up, the sterile odor of the capsule equally so. Yet the weight they carry is something I've never gotten used to. Years ago, I'd spend minutes, heck even hours, staring at a single pill prior to taking one in. Now it's just routine, a way to stay off the unwanted nightly visits. Okay. So yes, I'm pretty sure he has a really dark past of what happened to have to take medicine for this. Although I don't think Dr. Navarro will be quite pleased if he ever finds out I'm relying on them again. Oh no. Okay, I do owe him a visit regardless, especially after missing our appointments on purpose and ignoring his calls for weeks. Another sigh comes out, tired and weary, and then I pop the tablet into my mouth. And
Zach?
Oh, you're awake.
What time is it?
Damn, girl. Okay, I didn't expect you to be awake. The bottle on my hand hits the table with more force than necessary. Are they antidepressants? Maybe? I don't even know. As much as I trust my friends, there are some things I'd rather keep to myself. Morning, Bella. Did you sleep well? She answers the question with a long, drawn-out yawn, one reminiscent of a child. A chuckle manages to come out of my mouth at the sight. In this manner, it's easy to mistake her for someone too young for responsibilities. Right. Inexperienced and immature, even. It's probably my genetics, you know. It's same with me, I know. Looking like I stopped aging at 16, when really I'm like 25. Easy to forget she was thrust into the role of an adult earlier than her own dreams can afford, to overlook how surprisingly observant she can be at times. Maybe not on the same level Ash exercises for his investigation or Rebecca needs for her own work. But it's certainly enough to definitely put what she sees around her on canvas, right? And if the way her eyes flickers to the table and my hand says something, it is that I won't be able to avoid the question this time. Yeah.
Only a little. I don't remember how I ended up on the bed though.
That's thanks to me. My doing. You didn't look very comfortable sleeping on the couch, all hunched up like that.
It would have been enough for something temporary.
Yeah, but still, what kind of gentleman would I be if I let you just sleep on the couch and then you wake up with all these cranks and like neck cramps?
Sorry I stole your bed.
It's alright. I think you needed it more than I did. Hey, it doesn't matter. Besides, what kind of gentleman would I be if I leave a lady sleeping in such uncomfortable conditions? Exactly. I would figure he would say something like that. Not in this house. My nana would give me a tough scolding if I ever did that. I'm telling you.
Thanks a lot, Zach. I know I barged in at a very inconvenient time last night.
No need for any explanation, girl. It's alright.
I wasn't really thinking when I did.
No, girl. I'm glad you did. Hey, it's cool, Bella. I ain't mad at you. That's what friends do. You guys are welcome here anytime. Although Ashton abuses the anytime part a lot, I don't really mind. We might have less wiggle room if all four of us are present considering the size of this place, but as long as no one makes anything explode, it's totally fine.
Fine or not, I still owe you one for last night's trouble, especially since you don't seem to be...
Oh, no. A concerned expression passes over her features as she spares another cursory glance over the table, back to the bottle holding every small piece of what keeps the bad memories at bay. The blood blooming over Pa's heart, the horrified look on Ma's face as she watches him fall lifeless on the ground, and every ounce of spite seeping from the stranger's smile. Yeah. You don't belong here. You monkeys don't belong here. Damn, it never stops, doesn't it?
Well, you don't seem to be feeling well.
Yeah.
Let me know, okay? I'll make it up to you somehow.
Yeah, aw. She makes a slight gesture with her head towards the bottle. asking a question without really asking. Subtlety has never been one of her greatest assets, but right now, even Ash would have been a little amazed, if not at loss for words at that. Yeah. She has left it up to me whether I'll ever give her the response she wants to hear or not. A little clever coming from her, if anyone would ask me. Play it off, tell the truth. I mean, I kind of want to... Isn't it better to just kind of, well, I don't know. Are we even ready to tell her the truth? Jeez. But let's be honest with her. I feel like we should... Honesty is a good, it's a good policy to go, especially among friends who are supposed to be, be there for each other. So I want to... No secrets. Let's tell the truth. Yeah, okay, that definitely gave us points with her. Okay, so... But it's never easy, ain't it? No. Talking about my own problems, that is. It will never be, not by a long shot. Not when I've let it stay this way for so long. I realized that long ago, when the wounds are still fresh and the dreams are a nightly occurrence. And the dreams are a nightly occurrence. Can't force yourself to get better or move on to better things. It is what's normal now, and I can only cope. The question in her eyes may be unwarranted, born simply out of curiosity and sincere concern for a friend. I don't owe her an explanation, in fact, yes. But of all the people I keep close in my life, she's probably one of the very few who perhaps I can trust with this. Maybe she won't understand entirely. I can never hope she will. No, never to the full extent. That alone is expecting too much of her and giving too much of what I can. However, for all her shortcomings, I know she'll hear me out. And that is all I can ask of her. My bad. I was kind of hoping you wouldn't have seen me with these. The pills rattled lightly against the container when I gently set it back to its usual place. Always the small area closest to my laptop near the right hand. Within reach whenever, and a quiet reminder of what I shouldn't miss every day.
What? Oh, is it bad? I was just thinking that maybe it's a cold like Becca's.
Oh no, girl. Oh, you're so naive and innocent. No.
Do you need me to get anything from the store? Soup or something? There's one nearby, right?
Oh, girl. Yeah, I know she's saying it out of concern and not knowing the full story, but she cares either way.
I can run real quick and...
No, nothing of that sort. I'm perfectly healthy right now. It's really difficult to say, but can you promise me you'll listen at least?
What is this about, Zach?
I've had a very traumatic past. I should have been upfront with you about this a long time ago. Well, Ashton found out without me telling him anything, but you already know how that guy is. Can't hide anything from him.
If it's something you're having trouble saying, you don't have to force yourself to tell me. I'll forget I ever saw anything and won't ask questions. Promise.
I mean, she would understand because we didn't ask her what got her so spooked, right? No, I need to get this off my chest eventually. Besides, we're already here. Might as well finish what I started, yeah?
If you say so.
Okay. She takes a seat on the couch, her posture easy and open, and her smile honest. As if this is just a simple talk between two friends on a regular day. As if it's about the weather. It is far from one, but her unreserved air is enough to stamp down the twinge of unease that threatens to come up.
Let's hear it then.
Okay, here we go! It's not a happy tale. And she does. True to her words, she listens while the story spills out of my mouth of my ma and pa, that little old diner across the pond, and what it left in me that day. I can't recall most of it now, my own account jagged with a few missing details here and there. The passing years have eroded most of my recollection of the whole incident. All except for that one moment in the kitchen. The ringing of gunshots are as vivid as it sounded that day. Even Ma's hysterical screams, the moment Pa's body hits the floor motionless, his lifeblood flowing out from under him. And the gunman. He was smiling. Damn, he was smiling when Pa opened the door to welcome him. He was smiling when he put a bullet to Pa's chest and Ma's head. I've heard stories of how the world can be a cruel place for people like us before. I never believed until that moment. Nana and Gran took us in right after that. Sis and I flew straight to New Jersey as soon as they heard the news. Where did this take place? A few days after, Ma and Pa were laid to rest, and we have a new home a continent away. Oh, okay, I didn't even get the chance to take my favorite pillow with me. They said something about the change of environment would be good for us. Heh, they had no idea. They had no idea a different kind of ghost would follow me here. I expected questions, mostly those brimming with childlike curiosity, and maybe some that are a little too hard to answer. But to her credit, she just sat there, lent her ears, and looked at me with no expectations or an unnecessary judgment in her eyes. She appears wiser and older like this, easier to see the breadwinner in her. Her younger siblings are lucky to have her. When I'm done, after everything's been said, she wraps her arms around me. A bit awkward considering the gap in our heights, but it gets her sentiment across. Aww. But it's difficult to answer this in kind, if I am supposed to reciprocate the gesture given my earlier apprehension. She pulls away shortly with a smile on her face. Not the reaction I braced myself for, but it is obviously better than what I had imagined. Are you not gonna say anything? Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty heavy story to, like, you know, sit down with.
Am I supposed to say anything after? Like, apologize or something? I don't think that's very appropriate, but if you want to hear one, I can think of something real quick.
Oh, that's true. It's like, yeah, like, what good would it do if she just says, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Like, I know, like, I feel like this is, like, a really, like, horrible incident that, you know, is just too common in the world than it should really be. But yeah, it's just, what can you do? Not really. Other people have something to say after usually, and they're not necessarily nice either.
Oh, okay then. I won't. I can't think of something anyway. Sorry, I'm not very good with this.
Right? Like, I wouldn't, yeah.
Who else knows, by the way?
My older sister, grandparents, and just Ash and you for now. Maybe I think I should tell Rebecca too, but...
But not right now?
Yeah, not right now. When I'm ready, like today.
I'm sure she'll be willing to hear you out once you do.
Right? I don't doubt she will. I'm more afraid of how she will react after, but one step at a time, yeah? Yeah. Phew, surprisingly it feels good to get that one out of my chest. I was a little afraid you'd be angry I didn't tell you earlier than today. No!
I'm not angry. I'm just surprised. You didn't look like it. I wouldn't have suspected.
Right? Jeez, but like, hey, you know, you can't judge a book by its cover.
I suppose that's how it often is, isn't it? We all have our... what's the word Becca uses? Inner demons?
Yes.
But this is something personal to you. I understand why you'd rather have a few people know.
Right. That too. And well, these past few weeks haven't been easy for you. I didn't want to add to that, not after last night. Oh, something passes in her face, brief, fleeting, and disappears right before I can recognize what it is. Yeah, you okay? Yeah, she's like, damn. Last night, the ghost.
Yep, no worries. I'll be fine.
I'm really still curious what she found out, or what she connected the dots to before that whole ghost incident. Like, I want to know what she found out.
Look, about last night.
Yes. Well,
never mind.
Oh,
this isn't a good time.
Oh yeah, true. You can tell me later, girl.
But don't lose sleep over this, all right? What's important is you got what you want to say out, and if you need me, I'll be here.
Okay. I should be relieved her words are more than reassuring to my ears. There should be comfort in hearing those alone and knowing I have another person to rely on if things ever go bad. But somehow I find myself worrying more for her instead. Right, because she still hasn't told her story of why she was so spooked. I'll make another attempt to get the story out of her if I can. But this is a dance I know all too well, and with her, I doubt forcing her to say something would yield any results. Right. As much as I want to imitate Ash, there's only so much I can ask that won't result in something a little over disastrous. Yeah. At best, she'll stop talking to me until a week passes. At worst, I'd rather not risk it. I've never seen her angry. Outright annoyed, maybe, and often directed at Ash, but never furious. What do they say again about happiest people when angered? Yes. Besides, it'd be unfair to her after a little chat. So, food then. Oh yes, she seems relieved at the brisk change of subject, and as if it's been simply waiting for its cue all this time, her stomach rumbles at the mention of food. Yes, rather loudly as a matter of fact. Alright, Missy, we're going to get some chow now. Better be quick though, can't have your stomach starting a revolution on us here.
Don't make fun of me! I'm not that hungry!
Are you sure?
Maybe a little. I didn't think I'd end up skipping dinner last night.
I know, after that. And now we have one starved stomach protesting. Sorry, it'll be nothing fancy since I'm a little low on stocks. Yeah. I should probably drop by the grocery store after the meeting this afternoon.
I can make a quick run for you if you want.
Oh no, it's fine. Yeah, nah, I've got enough to put together something nice here. Maybe at least scrambled eggs? I can always improvise if we're missing an ingredient or two. It ain't like we're going for a Michelin 3-star status here. Also, didn't I say you're a guest? Is this a Filipino thing, or just Rebecca rubbing off on you? The soft laughter that comes from her doesn't quite reach her eyes. Neither. The answer is neither. Because if she stays idle, she'll remember. On second thought, I might need a little help slicing up the potatoes while I prep the ham. You up for that?
What? Do you think instant noodles are all I'm about?
Maybe.
I'll have you know, I can cook a mean paella with my eyes closed. All my siblings love it.
Okay. Okay, girl. Sure you can. Come on, I think I know what we'll do with those spare ingredients. Alright, to breakfast. Getting breakfast done. Okay, so despite the massive effort to keep the mood light with small chatter, cooking ends up being a mostly quiet affair. Okay. More journals. Alright. So let's see what we have written down here now. So Isabella saw Zachary taking an unknown medicine and concerned asked what it is for. He admitted he's suffering from a trauma ever since his parents were killed in a hate crime. Isabella could only offer him a comforting hug. To lighten the mood, the two decide to cook breakfast afterwards. Right. Because food always solves everything. Between us, the consistent clapping of the knife against the board and the muffled noise from the television I left running, words have become surprisingly difficult to string together. Not entirely unusual, we've had moments like this before, but definitely unnerving with how things are now. Right. Because there's this, unspoken, air about what happened last night with with Isabella, and, there's some heavy subjects going on here. I really wish someone else would come knocking at the door. As pleasant as this is, breaking the ice or keeping a conversation going has never been my forte. That has always been Isabella's or Rebecca's department. Sometimes Ash's, although most coming from him border on awkward or embarrassing. Speaking of the guy, he never did call back, and I'm willing to bet my entire yearly salary that he fell right back to sleep after that call. Oh no! Speak of the devil! I bet it's him. Is it him? Sorry, Bella, could you...
Yep, I got it.
Alright.
The potatoes are almost ready, by the way.
Okay.
I turned down the heat just in case. You might want to check on them, though.
Okay.
Hold on, I'll be right there.
Okay, hopefully it is, Ash or Rebecca.
Sheesh, wait up. If you keep rapping at the door like that, you'll break it down.
Okay.
Ash.
Oh, good. You're awake.
Oh, it is Ash. Okay, so he's knocked. Alright, so Ash has already welcomed himself in when I take my eyes away from the oven. He's never been really keen with the notion of courtesies after he's warmed up to you, this guy. All 13 of my locks he broke can attest to that. Really? He's just like, if you're not gonna let me in, I'm gonna just pick my way in. He's a good fellow, though. Maybe a tad bit standoffish at first glance, but he's trustworthy.
Don't you have work today?
Yeah, but he's worried about you, Isabella.
I could ask the same of you.
Yeah.
Hey, Izzy, man.
Oh my gosh. You're late. Something came up? You need to drop the Z-Man. It's getting old.
Sorry. I got caught up with something at the precinct on the way here. Had to attend to that first before things got out of hand.
Okay, precinct, alright.
I'd tell you about it, but you know how it can be with those kinds of things. Later, maybe.
Alright.
And you're here because...
Because he was worried. Aww.
What? I'm not allowed to say hello?
No, he's just covering it up now.
I doubt you're here because of that. And you're not answering my question.
Right. My bad. Forgot to mention that. He called earlier looking for you. Rebecca's worried because you didn't come home last night.
You could have called my cell instead.
But it's off, or you left it, or something. I don't even know.
You weren't picking up.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'd really hate to cut this little get-together short, but I need to be somewhere else.
Okay, wow.
Come on, Isabella. Let's get you home. I'll drop you off on the way.
She's gonna be like, no!
Wait, we're going now?
Uh-huh. He lightly claps a hand on her arm and begins ushering her out of the apartment, throwing a casual wave at me as they pass. Hey, what about breakfast, though? What am I gonna do with all this food? Isabella, on the other hand, doesn't appear too fond of the idea. And sure enough, before they can even cross the threshold, she puts a firm foot down, the force alone enough to halt them both and catch the taller man off guard. It would have made for a funny picture. The way Ash almost crashes into her and Isabella giving him an indignant pout over her shoulder. Surprise and confusion are all in his face all at once, two things that rarely ever grace it if he can help it. Yeah, a rare moment even for our small group. If only I have my camera with me. Dang.
What is it?
I don't want to go.
Zach cooked something.
Yeah, right? I want food.
If it's just food, I'll get you something on the way back.
No, but it's more than just food, okay?
But the food! It's Zach's cooking. Real delicious food that actually tastes like food.
Exactly.
At least stay and have a bite, please.
Right?
Zach, help me here.
Okay, don't worry, girl. I got you. These two, whenever they are in the same room, sometimes it feels like herding a group of unruly kids instead of talking to two mature adults. One moment they're engaged in a pleasant chit-chat, and the next they're bickering over a minor issue. Frankly, if I didn't know any better and I have an overactive imagination, I'd say there's something going on, because there is. I bet there is. Never mind how utterly impossible that idea is. Or it might just be me reading too much into things like always. Nope, it's something, there's something. I can already hear Ash's laughter if I so much as suggest such. Alright, so this, however, I cooked up a feast. I know you're busy. I cooked up a feast, okay? Why don't you just stay with the breakfast? Why don't you stay? Stay for breakfast. I cooked up a feast. I don't know about you two, but I think you guys should really stay. I've already made enough food for all of us, and it'd be a waste, right? That give me points for Isabella, and Ashton too. Okay, cool. Cool. So why? I cooked up that special honey glazed ham you two keep on yapping about. Got some scalloped potatoes with onions and cheddar to go with it too, right? Come on. The oven timer dings, yeah. I shoot the two of them in an apologetic look before sauntering over the kitchen, mittens in hand. The sweet smell of the glazed and salty tang of melted cheese wafts through the air as soon as I open the door and take out the two trays inside. Come on, don't you smell that? Don't you want some? The scent immediately fills the entire room, and even with the door and windows open, the mouth-watering aroma lingers. Yup, it's appealing enough that when I put the dishes down on the counter, another starved stomach protests loudly, followed by a burst of laughter. My head snaps up at the two of them, and I can't keep back the smile at the sight they make. Isabella is clinging to the door frame for support, doubled over with breathless laughter. Ash is the more composed of the two, trying to look unconcerned, but a flush has crept up his neck and cheeks. It's clear whose stomach that came from, and Isabella's not going to let him live this down. You're in no place to reject an offer of free food, Frey.
I wasn't rejecting anything.
Which means you're only staying to have some. So you stay, you park your ass right here.
Damn it, I just missed a meal, that's all.
You're cute.
Aw, he's flustered.
Shut it! Those guys at the precinct said it was urgent. Somebody has to be responsible for it.
Okay, whatever you say.
Well, aren't you precious?
I know, aren't you precious?
Right. You know, if you keep laughing like that, you'll burst.
I'm sure it won't be as bad as your stomach suddenly rumbling like a starved.
Okay, guys, just eat the food. Alright, kiddos, play nice. Food's going to get cold if we keep this up. Yeah, Ash, you gonna stay?
Might as well, since Scaredy Cat's so hell-bent on staying.
Okay, cool. Alright, we have breakfast. Breakfast. So we eventually settled down after the food has been served, the jibes replaced by another round of friendly chatter, mostly about what's on the news the night before. There is, however, a conscious effort to avoid mentioning what's currently on the headlines. Yeah, Rose. The dead is never a good topic to talk over food and polite company, this case in particular, right? The wounds are too fresh, too soon. I'd likely avoid it as well if I were in her position, and someone I knew. I'd likely avoid it as well if I were in her position, and someone I personally knew passed away in a gruesome manner like that, right? Though perhaps the closest we got to broaching the topic is when the infamous mansion is brought up again. But even then, we are careful, Ash and I. We keep the conversation light and avoid bringing up her late business partner. It's the least we could do.
The Wrights? Yeah, they're planning to move in soon. In fact, they already have a housewarming party planned.
Right.
It's why they wanted us to rush the papers. They wanted to send the invitations out as soon as possible.
Oh, damn. Wow, okay. Oh, now I get it.
Get what?
The whole, the luxury living thing. And why, remember what I told you last night about the new clients?
Vaguely? Sorry. I was a little out of it yesterday.
Right, I wouldn't blame you.
Was it the photo shoot?
Yes. Yep, it's actually the one you sold. Irma something. when you put it that way, I suppose it makes sense why my boss wants me to prioritize the couple. If they can have those documents rushed at just the snap of their fingers, then they're more influential than I initially thought. Man, I guess my boss is expecting a lot more from this project than I expected. Hope I can live up to it.
Your photographs are more than good enough, Zach. You'd probably win an international award if you let yourself.
Aw, damn girl, thank you.
Ma'am Hana's easy to please too, as long as you're good at following instructions.
Aw. Easier said than done. Different clients have different tastes after all.
Still, a week? I don't think that's possible.
Uh-huh.
Now that you mentioned it, yeah. They wanted everything finished at the earliest.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's not unheard of, but...
Yeah, yo, it's just a little, something's fishy.
But it's still weird.
Fishy. Weird.
Still weird, yeah?
Weird? Why were you avoiding fish? A slip of the tongue. Still barely noticeable to someone who's already familiar with Ash's way, yet in this moment, it's impossible to miss. I shoot him a curious glance, but he ignores it. Rather pointedly.
I can't exactly say it's like that, where I'm just the middleman after all. As much as I want to comment on it, I only know what's on the surface, not the in and outs.
Right.
It's just that BRC and my boss are more hands-on with the legal stuff this time, despite having a separate department dedicated to it.
Ah, okay, wow.
Maybe Mr. Wright helped with it too. They have their own legal team for this, don't they?
Maybe, yes. Well, they should have one, especially for a big property like this, right?
They have, but like I said, it's off our hands. Rose and I don't handle this stuff in the office.
Right.
If anything, to me, this just means I'll be able to send the rest of the funds to Papa's treatment earlier.
Okay.
I guess that makes a whole lot of sense. Officially off our instant noodle diet, aren't we?
For now.
Ash, has anyone ever told you that you have an uncanny way of ruining the mood?
What? I was just saying. A few more months of stuffing your face with those, and I'm sure you'll start to look like a noodle cup.
Oh, shut up.
That's a pretty picture.
Shut up.
At least I don't live off convenience store food. Or make poor, unassuming pressure cookers explode.
What? How did you...
Ha!
Oh, come on, Zach.
Can't even work the pressure cooker. Wow, that's sad. Sorry, it just came up while we were cooking earlier.
I'm impressed, Ashton Frey. You even made it to the news.
A one-time thing. And it wasn't as big as you seem to be imagining.
Okay.
Oh, sure. Let's all pretend that one time you almost set my apartment on fire didn't happen too.
Uh-huh.
Hey, that was an accident.
What were you doing? Jesus.
You were making a salad,
Are
Ash.
you... How the fuck?
Can we please move on to a different topic?
No, this is great. It helps, the casual talk, the harmless teasing, the mundane stories interesting enough to let time pass unnoticed. By the time lunch ends, the shadows are no longer at forefront of my mind. If it's the same for Isabella, for whatever troubles her, I can never tell. These things, the anxiety, the fear, they ain't easily seen, ain't easily forgotten after all. Only be pushed.
You go on ahead. I've got a few things I need to ask Zach.
Okay, about Isabella, no doubt.
I'll be downstairs in a minute.
Okay. You good on your own? Confusion briefly flashes in her eyes as she catches the keys he tosses over, but he doesn't give her an answer and waits for her to go ahead.
How sure are you I won't be driving away with your Shirley?
Oh, Shirley. Oh, Shirley is his car's name. Oh, okay, because I was like, he mentioned it during the ball, the housewarming, and I was like, who the fuck is Shirley? It's Shirley's his car, his baby, I assume.
You don't even have a license. Do you even know how to?
Oh my goodness, okay then.
Papa taught me how. I'm probably a better driver than you.
Okay, why don't you go downstairs and prove it to him?
See you later, Zach. Thanks for the food.
Yeah, no problem.
Always has to have the last word, don't you?
Alright, you're welcome. I'll send you the recipe for the potatoes tonight. So, that grin is back on her face when she leaves and closes the door behind her. For a little while after we're left alone, Ash goes wholly quiet, listening, waiting for her remaining footsteps in the hall to fade. The earlier amusement is gone from his face, replaced by what I can only describe as trepidation. I know that look all too well. When he's like this, he's expecting shit to go down at some point soon. Right. That wasn't very nice, Ash. What was all that with Isabella earlier? You're usually subtler with your questions.
They hired you.
They hired me. Yeah, they hired me? Hired me who? Yeah, the Wrights? Don't change the subject yet. What's really going on here?
The Wrights.
Yes.
Luke and Hannah Wright. You said your next gig is with them.
Yes, their problem. Is that what this is all about?
Just be careful around them. You have no idea what you're dealing with when it comes to that couple.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure he had. Oh well, yeah. Being a private detective or a detective inspector, like he's got serious dirt with everybody, and like, you know, with rich people, there's always some shady shit going down with them.
I'd rather you stay as far away from them as possible, but you're already here. Isabella's their real estate agent. Seriously, of all the people in Luxburn.
I'm sorry. I don't even know. What's the deal, though? Tell me. Spill the deeds. Spill the tea, yo. Okay, I guess I'll just have to take your word for it. He nods, claps a comforting hand on my back, and turns to leave without another word. He's never been good with those. More often, he fumbles with what he wants to say, but his actions alone are enough to tell me how grateful he is for the trust. He reaches for the knob as soon as he gets to the door, but doesn't turn it. Instead, he looks back and gestures with his head towards the table. I don't need to follow his line of sight to know what he's going to ask about. He's likely taken notice of it the moment he entered the room.
You back on those? I haven't seen you taking them in a year.
Yeah, well... Yeah, I kinda had to. It got worse after the film fest. The dreams, that is. Right. Yeah, it makes sense that it would be kind of a triggering thing. Oh no. I don't think I'll be doing that again anytime soon, right?
Heard about that.
Yeah.
Don't drop it, though.
Yeah.
You don't want Becca scolding you. She actually enjoyed the movie you made, and she's hard to please.
Right.
Consider that a small victory.
You don't have to tell me. She already did. Yeah, she went off. Rebecca and Bella both gave me an earful after I said the opposite. Promised them I wouldn't, but you can never tell. Hopefully, once I feel better, I'll be able to think about it properly. Speaking of Bella, she didn't open up to me, but maybe with you and Rebecca.
Yeah, I'll try. I can't promise anything, but I'll talk to her.
Okay. Thanks, that's all I'm asking. This time when he reaches for the door, he lets it close fully behind him without glancing back. A mild draft sweeps into the room as I close the door behind him, slightly disturbing the papers on the nearby fridge. Okay, let's go with the journal. Let's see what this is all about. Let's see what's rewritten here this time. Okay, so Ashton arrived to fetch Isabella hours later, but she didn't want to leave after all the food they prepared. In the end, Ashton acquiesced and stayed. The Wrights and Zach's upcoming gig were the few topics touched during the talk over breakfast. Okay. Oh wait, there's another journal apparently. No? No? Oh, profiles! Yes, we haven't even read profiles for Zachary. Oh gosh, okay. Anyways, he's 31 too. Oh my gosh. Okay, so he's like the same age as Hannah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so he's an American, he's a freelance photographer, we know that. Agnostic, I don't even know what religion that is. So, diploma in digital film, okay. Likes pie, photography, and filmography, documentaries, cooking, acoustic guitar, video games. Yeah, okay. He seems to be like an easy enough person to read from that. Just from like kind of the few times we've interacted with him. So before his parents' death, he lived in New Jersey where his family owned a diner and bakery. He and his older sister were orphaned due to hate crime and they were forced to move to England where their grandparents lived. Oh, okay. So he had loved cooking and helping out with their old diner, but grew lazy and disinterested after the incident. It did not help that he was one of the few blacks in a predominantly white community at the time. His passion for the visual arts was sparked when he found old Polaroids and home movies of his parents. Freelancing helped pay his rent, but the man had long set his sights on the indie film scene. It was during the creation of his first documentary that a robbery occurred, and Ashton was there to investigate. Being the wrong place at the wrong time led to Zachary being placed as a suspect, but the rookie detective helped him clear his name. Oh, wow, okay, damn. Shit. Jesus, just so much shit just happening with this man. Oh my gosh. So yeah. So a lone note flutters by my feet, the letters on the surface glaring at me with mute intensity. What note is this? Oh, Ermengarde Mansion, H. Wright, 11 a.m. for luxury living. Ermengarde Mansion, yeah, H. Wright, 11 a.m. After Ashton's warning, they all hold a different meaning now. Yes. October 27th, the Thursday. Damn. Okay, so we definitely skipped over, what's it called? The whole incident, maybe? Maybe? I don't even know. Hold on. Okay. You need to stop humming, Zach. I need it. It's lovely and all, but like, I need to sort out my thoughts on where we are in the timeline, and also if I'm running overtime for me. So let's see. Hold on. Okay, so definitely, I think I'm gonna leave it here, you guys. Not much in terms of like, exciting incidents. we're just getting fillers in on the events and the timelines and such. So more so like what happened with Isabella's incident with the ghosts at her office, and then of course getting a little bit more on Zach, starting on Zach's side of the story and his events that happened in this timeline. So of course like him doing the magazine cover for the Wrights couple and such, and what happened on his end, and also I guess now what's gonna happen on his end in terms of the ghost, because he's had his first kind of contact with her when he was taking what's it called, Hannah's photo. So anyways, yeah, so just filler things. Sorry for what's one of the more kind of uneventful episodes, just more plot and taking in more storyline and shit like that. So anyways, yeah, so we're gonna continue on in the next episode. At least for me, it's less stressing for me, and I can actually go to sleep tonight. Lol. So yeah, we're gonna continue on in the next episode, you guys. Maybe get a little bit more exciting incidents to happen. But until then, you guys, take this as a breather and take it as what it is, because shit's gonna go down. Shit's gonna hit the fan, and we're gonna wish that these downtimes would be more prevalent than the events that are gonna come later. So yeah. So until then, you guys, I will see you in the next episode. Bye.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will